Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the ISRL Division 2 Championship here. It is round 15 out of 16, the penultimate round here, and we are at a very fitting track. It is the United States Grand Prix here at COTA, and we are just getting ready to kick off our short qualifying session here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you're going to be enjoying the action here. My name is Fallen Monkeys. I'm your host here for the commentary booth, in the commentary booth for the session, I should say. Happy to be back and bringing you this very exciting racing action now. Looking at the grid here for Division 2 today, not the most filled grid we've ever had. Only 14 drivers here in qualifying, but hopefully we can have a few more that jump in between now and the start of the race. But that doesn't mean we won't have some very exciting racing action, because we've got a championship here possibly to decide, possibly not. We'll see how this all plays out here between, I'll be honest, Nole and Mark, who are the two that are fighting for the championship near close by. And as we are looking at Lorenzo taking us through on an outlap, let's get all of this wonderful, let's get all our stats up here so I can take us through what we can expect. So looking at the drivers, yes, so currently it is Nole leading the way, 318 points, but Mark very close behind with 289 points. So this is the battle to keep an eye out here. And we'll take a look here. All right, on board with Lorenzo. Let's try to get a little bit of... There we go. Now I've got some sound coming through. Heading up the hill here, approaching turn 1. Hard braking zone up the hill, around into third. And now here we go. This is where the track really gets fun. It is those dreaded the dreaded S's, the S section here in COTA. You go left, right, left. Now you're going right, actually. I'm going the wrong way. Now back towards the left. It's a purple sector 1. Back towards the right here in the S's. Cut the curb there on the left-hander. Quickly on the power. There goes Ephraim letting Lorenzo out of the way. You love to see that. Hard braking zone down the hill. You go deep in that corner more often than not, but you gotta nail it to set yourself up for this long back straight. Opens up DRS, which crucially, it doesn't look like Lorenzo's using this lap, but it's an invalidated lap for him actually now that I've noticed it here. And this brings up another talking point as he takes a quick left-hander. I'll get to that talking point in a bit. We'll finish up the lap. Now, quickly down the gears here on the right-hander. Quickly on the power, though, up the gears. Now, this is probably a very tricky corner. It's really odd to ride the curb. It's easy to lose the car if you're a little bit too quickly on the power, but it looks like Lorenzo handles it well as he's taking us through this essentially second out lap. Penultimate corner here, cut the corner just a tiny little bit, head towards the power, normally down into second for the final corner around the line. Let's switch over. There you go. There goes Krishna heading around the line and to the line, and there we go. Krishna with a 132.176 as the fastest lap so far on those medium tires. Now, to run back to that point that I was bringing up, and you can see it here with Cohen's lap, track limits on this circuit are going to make or break your times. They're going to make or break your session here around COTA. Through those S section here as Mivako Nole sets a time. I'm trying to find somebody who's on a lap, but it looks like everybody's got that red track map. Here we go. Ephraim is currently on a lap. He goes purple in Sector 1 on those medium tires, and we'll take a look. We'll stick with Ephraim in the Renault and see what he can do here today. Now, as I was saying, these track limits here around COTA, especially in Sector 1 and the beginning portion of Sector 2, they will make or break your lap. You're trying to carry a lot of speed through the S's. You start it in right around 7th to 8th gear, work your way down to 4th gear, but that car is, the Formula 1 cars, as much downforce as they have, swinging them left, right, it's not an easy feat for this car to handle. It's very easy to just go a tiny little bit wide, and the marshals here, the stewards inside of the universe of F1 2020, they will ding you more often than not if you push it just a tiny little bit too much here. But it looks like for Ephraim's sake, he's handling a very good lap as long as he handles the final corner well. Don't go too wide. You can see keeps those two wheels on track, and it's a 132.6 for Ephraim, so not the quickest lap for him, but as he's on those medium tires, you can see here only Mark, who's currently on provisional pole, with a 129.9, so just barely breaking down into the sub-130s, only driver to do so just yet. He's everybody else is on those medium tires, so Ephraim tiny little bit off the pace, but it is probably a banker lap for him here. Let's see what Michael Fear is. He's actually had an invalidated lap once again as he's on 2-lap-old medium tires. No ERS being used this time, so I think he's abandoning that strategy idea and going to convert possibly to strategy B. Now, let's see, Dark is currently on a flying lap right now in the Red Bull, but going very slow, so crucially, maybe not on a flying lap, as I suspected, might be trying to make his way to the pits. Cohen is in a similar fashion, and it looks like Synchro possibly as well, as they both invalidated their laps here, with 11.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Now, if I'm looking at the Williams here, who's currently on a flying lap, it looks like it's Mlecki 98, if I'm reading that right. In the Williams here, he is reserving in that Williams, so I don't quite have an idea of his pace here, not just around Coda, but also compared to the other drivers in Division 2, as he's a reserve. It's going to be his debut here in Division 2, but he's got a purple second sector for his troubles, so he's looking to be on a bit of a flyer here on those soft tires. So we'll see where he can position himself compared to the likes of Mark, Nole, Krishna, who currently have times on the board. But like I mentioned, only Mark has his best time on those softs. But it looks like Nole and Krishna, they're going to be heading out on the soft tires now and try to set their laps, much quicker laps on those soft tires. But around the final corner goes Mlecki, and it's a 132.2 on those 2-lap-old soft tires now. So, bit of a banker lap for him, it seems. It might be having a little bit more pace in the tank later on in this qualifying session, but we'll keep an eye out on him and see how he can do. D-Morts, he's coming around a lap. Former Division 3 driver up into Division 2 for this season, and for D-Morts, he's had a very good season here in Division 2. He's currently in P6, right behind his teammate of Synchro, who is currently in the pits on those medium tires. Now, they're very close to one another, 190 points for D-Mort, Synchro with 193. But barring possibly a miracle here, that might be where they're going to stand, because right ahead of them in P5 is Irish Newt Potato with 262 points. So I think Irish New Potato might have possibly a top 4 clinched, barring, like I said, some absolutely bonkers final 2 races here for him, and crazy races for Synchro and D-Morts. Might need a 1-2 with Irish New Potato to essentially end up out of the points for that to happen. But, I mean, anything can happen. It is motorsports after all, and D-Morts set an absolute flyer. It's a 130.390 here with 9 minutes to go in qualifying, and there's a nice little invalidation on that in-lap for good measure. Let's switch over. Cruz is on a flying lap, coming through Sector 1, swinging that Mercedes through the S's. There it goes, pops up once again on your screen. Down into 4th gear as he's taking that corner, gonna head down the hill towards that very hard braking left-handed corner here. Down into 30 takes it, quickly up into 4th, and quickly on the power now to head towards up the hill with DRS towards the next hard braking zone. Now this back straight that we're currently seeing Cruz on, this is where we're going to see possibly most of the overtaking, assuming the race is going to be dry, especially considering the DRS zone is there. Between there and the start-finish straight, that is where we'll see most of the overtakes, but don't expect these drivers to be complacent elsewhere on the circuit. If they see a move, they are going to go for it here, and it doesn't matter if it's through the S's into Sector 3 here, so expect to see some side-by-side action, some hard racing through the entirety of the circuit here, but just expect most of the moves to happen through these DRS zones, because of course that drag reduction system, that rear flap that opens there as Cruz goes 3rd fastest, That does provide a little bit more top speed, an extra 20 miles an hour or so, which can just make the difference between an overtake and no overtake. Now, lots of drivers on their flying laps right now. Oh my goodness, excuse me, apologies for that to everybody watching at home. But Synchro on a lap on those medium tires, Cohen right behind on a lap. Dark is set a purple second sector on the soft tires. It looks like he's leading the way as Lorenzo is a little bit further behind with the rest of that pack. So let's stick with Dark as he's coming through the swooping left-hand corner, or right-hand corner, I should say. I'm looking at it the wrong way here. Through the penultimate corner now, so close to that invalidation, but keeping it valid around the final corner here. Once again, riding that white line, and he goes third fastest on those soft tires. Let's switch back quickly towards Synchro. He's about to cross the line on the mediums. He goes 8th fastest. Next up is Cohen. He's going to cross the line. He keeps it valid only just. He goes 2nd fastest, and Lorenzo right behind. He goes P6. So Cohen, with the quickest of all those laps there on the soft tires, puts him right behind his teammate. So the Alfa Romeo is currently sitting 1-2 in the qualifying order here with 6.5 minutes to go in qualifying. Jordan, though, the last driver to not set a lap. He is in that AlphaTauri, that wonderful looking AlphaTauri, and we'll see what the number 92 driver can do here. And as I'm pulling up the stream, pulling up the chat, we've got our new in-house weatherman for this season, Michael Fierez, informing us it's going to be a sunny qualifying and a cloudy race. So thank you, Michael Fierez. It is extremely appreciated for all you do, providing us with the weather updates, as we do not get them here in the commentator's booth. Could be something to see possibly next year's game or the year afterwards. I know I myself would love to have the weather provided to me, but we'll have to see how this goes, how this would work out here in the grand scheme of things. But Jordan, though, back to the racing action here, back to qualifying. He is not having a good time here. That's an invalidated lap for the AlphaTauri driver, so he is going to have to go around again, and with a little over 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, he's going to have to be near perfect, as he's probably going to be diving into the pits, or he's saving some ERS, so we'll see what happens. We'll stick with him now. Is he going to go around the final corner? No, he is diving into the pits, so he's going to get a fresh set of boots on and see if he can put one more lap in. Now, we'll switch over as our in-house weatherman, actually. Michael Fierez, he's on a flying lap right now. Looks like he is heading down that back straight, the longest straight on the circuit here. Nice little cut there. That's what you have to do through that corner. Maximize your speed, maximize the exit speed. You can go a little bit wide there, depending on how you want to take that line. This is the danger corner in Sector 3. You can see you're fighting the car ever so slightly when you're clipping that curb, just with the way the track is designed. It's a banked corner just a little bit there. It's on camber, it looks like. But still a little bit difficult to handle, because the car you want to take that exit speed, but it's so much easier said than done there. Michael Fierez, though, he goes 8th fast. This puts himself right behind Ephraim. Currently, if qualifying ended now, he would be on the 4th row of the grid. It's a 1:31.4, but that was, I think that might have been Krishna, or that was somebody behind who went a little bit faster than him. Must have been Krishna who went P5 and bumped Michael Fierez down to P9 just like that. So, let's see. Irish New Potato, he's diving into the pits on his in-lap. He is 3rd fast this year. Couple drivers on their out laps. Krishna, he is on an in-lap right now, looking to conserve those tires, conserving that ERS. Who else is on a lap? It looked like Lecky might have been on a lap, but it's an invalidated lap for him, so that is going to be a bit of a costly mistake for him, especially down here with 3 minutes to go, a little over 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Short qualifying quickly coming to a close here. Drivers are running out of time, and we have a few drivers now on their out laps looking to get their flying laps set here. The likes of Cruz, Dark, Demorts, Lorenzo, who I think is might just be leading the way here. No, he's actually probably the furthest one of them all. I think Demorts might actually be leading the way here. We'll stick with Demorts. We'll take us through a flying lap here once again as... we'll see. We talked about the racing point earlier here, as he's right around P5, P6 here, and really in competition with his teammate. But you can't take anything away from Krishna. Currently in P5, Krishna in the Renault, he's got 158 points here in P7 in the Drivers' Championship. So I'm not trying to say Demorts is sitting comfortably here, but between 190 points for Demorts, 158 for Krishna, could still be anybody's position to gain, so still looking for a solid result is that racing point of Demorts. Now, as he's coming through down this long back DRS straight, if I switch my attention over to the constructors now, it is the Alfa Romeo. They are 1-2 in qualifying here so far, and they are actually leading the Constructors' Championship by quite some margin here. They have 521 points between the two of them here. So Mark and Cohen have been an absolute dream team here in Division 2, it seems. And it looks like they may or may not have that Constructors locked up, depending on how everything plays out. But you can't take away the Haas team here with 428 points. But the big issue that I'm seeing right now is if you look at the timing tables, there is no Haas driver whatsoever on the grid. So Alfa Romeo, they just need to snag some points, and they might have this even more in the bag going into the final race. Demorts, though, he goes second fastest. He puts himself up on the front row of the grid so far after his lap with a minute to go. Down to the final minute of qualifying here. Drivers are going to have to get their lap time set, and if you're a driver like Dark, that's a very, very costly invalidation. Krishna, he's done with his qualifying. Looks like Cruz is about to start a lap now, or no, it doesn't look like he's going to start a lap. He's got no ERS activated here, and that was an invalidation. Jordan, he gets his lap set. He goes P8, so a solid lap for him. Ephraim, he's starting a flying lap right now, down in P9. We'll see what the time was. I didn't get that Sector 1 time. Let's see. It's not going to flash me a Sector 1 time, unfortunately, but we'll see where he puts himself in Sector 2. But currently, Mark's still occupying that pole position on his outlap right now. Cohen looking to snag that possible P2 right back, or that podium for himself, as he's just starting his flying lap. Irish New Potato was on a lap, but it looks like now he's starting his legitimate flying lap, so we'll see how this will play out for him, as he is gunning for that pole position for the AlphaTauri team, because the AlphaTauris, they're third in the Constructors now with 418 points. So every point counts here for the AlphaTauris. Ephraim coming through Sector 3, the sweeping right-hander here, coming towards the penultimate corner on the soft tires. Synchro goes 8th fastest here. Michael Furious finishes his qualifying down in 12th. Here comes Ephraim, though, around the... Oh, no! Big moment there. Costly invalidation for Ephraim, as he is going to remain 10th fastest. Who was that jumped up? That was Nole going P5, so maybe not what he was hoping for. Irish New Potato, costly mistake for him as he's invalidated himself. Where's Cohen now? Cohen's coming through Sector 2. Mark, though, he had an invalidation, but so he might be hoping on a bit of a prayer here. But it looks like it's possibly only his teammate who has any chance of snagging that pole position. But between the two of them, I'm sure they'll be happy with either one of them on pole. But maybe, and then they can just get that sorted out through the race, seeing that Nole is down in P5 right now. But coming around the penultimate corner is Cohen. Mark is right behind there. Let's see what Cohen can do across the line. Just keeps it valid. It's second fastest for Cohen. It's a 129.901. And now, unless Lorenzo has anything to say about it, definitely not, as he's diving into the pits. That is the end of qualifying here for us in COTA, in US. It is going to be an Alfa Romeo 1-2. It is the Alfa Romeo of Mark on your screen right now, starting from pole position with Cohen down in second, and Nole close quality, definitely a close quality indeed. 129.7 is the fastest time. Cohen with a 129.9, then here we go, 130 flat, 130.202, 130.216, 130.424 as the top 5 times just about there. But that is done and dusted. That is the end of qualifying here. What a quality it was. And now we get to move on to the good stuff. It is time for the race. This is what we've all wanted here. And I will wish a good luck to everybody in the race who's got the stream open. Hopefully we can keep it clean. No heroics into turn 1. You don't want to see that. But taking us through the order, it is Mark on pole, Cohen in second, D-Morts, Nude Potato, Nole rounding out the top 5 with Krishna, Dark, Cruz, Synchro, and Jordan rounding out the top 10. Ephraim down in P11, poor man's pole position, free choice of tires for him. Lorenzo, Michael Fures, and Mlecki, who are in positions 11 through 14th. Now, every time is set on the soft tires, so that means that the top 10 will all be starting on the soft tires. But as mentioned, from P11 down to P14, and if anybody else had joined, then they will also get a free choice of tires. Definitely a cloudy race here, so track temperatures might not be as hot as they were in qualifying here, so possibly could mean that a tiny little bit more difficult to get some heat in the tires, but maybe they'll last a little bit longer since they won't be heating up as much. Or it could be the opposite. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert as far as how these track conditions affect the tire wear. So I'ma just roll with it here. So don't take my word for anything. But I'm sure the drivers know a little bit more. Mlecki, he hits that ready up button here. Jordan very quickly further behind. I know here in Division 2, or at least as far as what I've gauged through the grapevine from Jordan, it's not necessarily end of the world. He likes to just jump into the race. And as much as we like to get that idea to get the strategy done, as long as we get a few, maybe like a 30 seconds or so at the absolute most, just to allow everybody to jump in to that race lobby and figure out what they want to do, I think we'll be okay. But we are kicking things off very quickly here into the formation lap, followed by the race. We've got a bold prediction here from Nole. He's hoping the Alfa Romeos take each other out, similar to what we saw in Spain 2016 in the real-life Formula 1 events. But I think there might be a little bit of bias there for you, Nole, as he's got some championship implications possibly with that. But we'll see how it all plays out. It could be a possibility here with you with the United States Grand Prix, as it's very tricky through the S's. But there we go. You can see the top 10: Mark, Cohen, D-Morts, Nude Potato, Nole, Krishna, Dark, Cruz, and Synchro, and of course Jordan. They will be starting on those soft tires here to start the race. And it looks like we've got a theme here between Ephraim, Lorenzo, Michael Fures, and Mlecki, the top 14. They are all opting for those medium tires. They are going to go the reverse strategy. And speaking of tire strategy here, the soft to mediums or mediums to soft, contrarily to what our pit stop indication is saying here, the one stop is very much so possible. It just involves a little bit of tire management, but it is definitely a possibility. I can confirm the one stop is possible, so as long as you keep it clean, and that is easier said than done, especially when drivers are going to be pushing here for the race, and they might be trying to take a little bit more curb, push those tires a little bit more. That might be when we start seeing a two-stop, but I think the general consensus here is that the one-stop is the way to go. But we'll see how it all plays out. I've heard that those starting on the medium tires have a slight advantage to those starting on the soft tires, with the way the soft tires tend to fall off. But of course, when you're on those soft tires to start, you have much more pace than those on the mediums. But through the formation lap, we are just about done here, as the drivers are going to line up on the grid. You see them coming around, getting a last little bit of heat in those tires before the start of the race. Then we await the 5 red lights so they can all charge down towards turn 1, and we can kick off our 28 laps here around the United States Grand Prix here around COTA. I'm excited. The drivers are excited. Everybody watching, I hope you're excited for this as well. It's going to be a good one. It is the penultimate round here of the ISRL Division 2 Championship at the United States Grand Prix. Just getting set here for 28 laps once we get the 5 red lights to kick off the race. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And they are off, and we are racing here, and it looks to be a good start from everybody. I'm seeing a Red Bull trying to go around the outside here. We're nearly 4 wide through into turn 1, sorting out. Oh no, and that's Irish New Potato having a big moment, a half spin there. 4 wide here with these cars going through the S's, 3 wide nearly. This might not end too well. Looks like that was the Ferrari of Nolay battling for position. The Alfa Romeos, though, they are getting away cleanly. We've got everything sorted out through the S's, single file as you would expect here. But there's Krishna putting a lot of pressure on the Ferrari of Nolay. Dark now further behind. There you see the Alfa Romeos. 1-2 still. Here we go. Nolay defending towards the inside. It looks like we're going to have Jordan try to make a move around the inside of Michael Furious. Can he stick it with the power? They're going to go side by side. No, Michael Furious gets a little bit better power through the exit, even in the back. Lorenzo and Lecky are having a nice little battle. They're going side by side here for the wooden spoon. How is this going to play out in the braking zone? Efron might get involved. Krishna and Nolay are having a little side by side battle here. It's all going off on lap 1. What a sight to see for all these drivers. But it looks like Krishna, he gets the better of Nolay for the time being, as we might start to settle down a little bit. Synchro and Jordan now going side by side. And that's Irish New Potato seeing a nice little opportunity to make it 3 wide as he gets ahead. Oh no, what happened to Synchro? He had a near half spin. He saves it, but falling down the order now as he is way down in 14th. But he is going to charge back up the grid here. Now it looks as though the order is getting absolutely funked up as it normally does. And DRS is not active just yet. We are on lap 2, not lap 3 here. But we've survived the opening lap. Synchro taking a pit stop here very early on. He's got to get a front wing change. Not ideal, but it's going to work. Jordan a little bit further behind here on track. He's lost a bit of pace here to Dark, who's a little bit further ahead as the order is changing as we're coming through Sector 1. Here we go. Now it's all sorted. Michael Furious, he's putting a little bit of pressure. Efrom now. Nude Potato. We've got 3 cars battling it out here. They separated, but we'll see how this all plays out as they're heading towards the back straight. I don't know why it's showing Jordan at 1/10 of a second behind Dark. You can see that's Dark ahead on your screen here. A little bit of separation now as Lorenzo gets past Efrom as they're going side by side into this hard braking zone. How is this going to play out between the two of them, as Irish New Potato is going to have to watch out just a tiny little bit here if Lorenzo does get ahead. Efrom falling down to P12, so those medium tires maybe struggling for heat. Michael Furious, he's having a good race though on those mediums, but Irish New Potato, he is charging back on those soft tires. But I think now, after the opening lap, we've seen the initial battle for positions. DRS is going to open for a lot of these drivers, and this is where we're going to start seeing a bit more attacking here between everybody here. Starting lap 3, not down the start-finish straight, but down that back straight. We're going to see some overtakes start to happen now as drivers are going to get DRS on one another. You want to stay within a second of the car ahead here. That is going to be crucial, or else you are going to fall just a little bit more than you'd like. But Irish New Potato, he's still putting pressure on Michael Furious, and Michael Furious, he's fallen out of that DRS range. He's got a bit of a gap. Oh no! That's a big moment for Michael Furious as he completely misses his line there, and that's a bit of an easy overtake for Irish New Potato as he finds himself back up into P9, and now Lorenzo is right behind the McLaren, and he is going to charge down into here. He is going to have DRS to help out. a lot of these drivers, though, they are now going to try to push with the help of DRS, but it looks like the name of the game is stick with the car ahead. It's a little bit of a train between a lot of these drivers, but Krishna got close to D-Morts. We know they're battling for very important points. Lorenzo, Michael Fierez, they're having a little bit of a battle. Looks like Lorenzo goes down the inside. Is he going to get the overtake done? Yes, he does for now, but Michael Fierez trying to keep his nose in there, but Lorenzo just gets a little bit more pace, just gets a little bit further ahead, and it looked like Ephraim wanted to get involved, but just was not able to there in these early stages, and Michael Fierez can breathe just a tiny little bit easier. Not much, though, as the gap is still very close between these two drivers. But we've got a few different packs forming now. We've got essentially the top 7 all stuck together. And oh no! What happened there? That's Michael Fierez out of this race. I think he had a big moment coming around the final corner, and that is going to bring out a full safety car here, as that final corner, I hadn't really spoken about it all that much, but it was a big struggle for a lot of Division 3 drivers, and it looks like here in Division 2 is proving to be very difficult as well. I was hoping to ride on board with Synchro to see what happened, but I think around the final corner, just here, put a little bit too much power on the car, lose that back end, and boom, into the wall just like that. That is the end of Michael Fierez's race. Very, very unfortunate for the McLaren, as that is a very short end to the race for him. Not what he was hoping for, and it looks like his comment post-accident is the dirty air is so ridiculous, and I do have to agree, the dirty air is not easy on this track whatsoever. Now, crucially, what happened to Mark? Why is Mark down in P5 through all of that? I actually don't know. I completely missed what happened there. I thought he and Cohen are running 1-2, but all of a sudden Cruz is up into second, D-Mort's in third, Krishna down in fourth, and Mark finding himself in P5, right ahead of Nole. So this is making things very, very interesting now in the early stages of this race with the Drivers' Championship here in hands. Like I was mentioning, it is the car of Nole who is leading the way in the Drivers' Championship. Nole trying to fake a pit stop here, but Dark is taking a pit stop. Krishna is taking a pit stop. Are we going to see some hard tires here? As Nude Potato taking a pit stop too. So maybe some hard tires from a lot of these runners. Looks like some are opting for the mediums. Dark is going on the hard tires. I'll be honest, that's a little unsurprising for me. We know how much Dark loves his hard tires here, and he can make those work. As he might be trying to go to the end here on lap 5 out of 28. I have heard that it is a possibility if you can manage that tire wear, but I've heard from some other drivers too that indicate those hard tires are just not fun to deal with whatsoever on this track. They're just so tough to find the grip, so tough to find the temperature, and under safety car everybody is going to be running just that much slower. It could be tough to get up and running here, but under safety car, lap 5 out of 28, it is Cohen who is leading the way in that Alfa Romeo. Cruz down in, well, not down, he is up in second place now. D-Mort's in third, but the biggest shock is the second Alfa Romeo of Mark, who is down in fourth position right now. Like I said, I'm not too sure how he ended up down in fourth position, because he started in P1, and it looked like the Alfa Romeos were essentially running a clean race. He must have had maybe a bit of a tank slap or a bit of a moment through one of these very hard braking corners, and just allowed everybody else to get ahead of him here. But one driver who's probably very happy about that is Nole, the Ferrari on your screen, who finds himself right behind now Mark, as this has a little bit of implications for the Drivers' Championship. Nole and Mark, the two biggest rivals here. Laparta is in third, but I think he has not been able to show up for a couple races now in a row. So he was seeing his championship opportunities fall out the window as we speak here, and not being able to make it to this race is definitely not helping him at all here with one race to go. I think now it's very much so a two-horse battle for the championship. led by Nole, who, to be fair, has been leading the championship for quite some time now. But just has not been we'll see if he can close it out. But starting lap 6, still under the safety car, we've got the top 6 who stayed out on those soft tires. Then we've got the likes of Lorenzo and Ephraim, who were started on the mediums. They're staying out here, possibly a bit of an advantage for them. Then right behind, the likes of Krishna, Dark, Mleki, Irish Nude Potato, they all took a pit stop under the safety car to put on a fresh set of medium tires, or hard tires for Dark's sake, and they're going to be going a little bit longer. They're going to be running a bit of an alternate strategy here from everybody else. And this also allowed Synchro, who got caught up into an incident very early on, has allowed him to catch right back up to the back of the field, and he's now all of a sudden right back into this race, so you love to see that too. But here we go under safety car now, as we've got at least this lap, possibly one more, but I do think the safety car is probably going to come in at the end of this... Struggling for words, apologies for that, but it looks like I think the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap, is what I was trying to say, given the grid is essentially all caught back up to the safety car queue. But we'll ride on board, approaching the end of Sector 2. That's where we get the indicator here that the safety car is going to come in or not. Keep an eye out on those flashing lights of the safety car, especially those lights on the top of the safety car. Once we get through Sector 2, let's take a look at that. They are still on for the time being. There we go. Now they've turned off, so the safety car is indeed coming in this lap. Cohen is slowing down the field. He's getting a last little bit of heat in those tires before we get started back to green flag racing. I will use this opportunity to take a quick sip of water, and I will be back to take us through the safety car restart here. Alrighty, just in time here. Almost looked like he was going to start was Cohen, but probably going to take us around the final corner. I think everybody might be expecting that here. You can see the grid perfectly bunched up together here around the final corner. Now on the power. Ooh, a big tank slapper as he goes around the final corner. That's going to open the door for Cruz. It's going to be a drag race into turn 1. Who is going to outbreak who here for the lead of the race? Cruz is going to go around the outside. Can he find that traction through turn 1? He has to ride the curb. They're still side by side now as they're heading towards the S section. And it is Cruz who gets ahead. He takes the lead of the race. Cohen down in second. Mark finds himself back up into third as he passes D-Morts. Penalties are starting to fall for some of these drivers. D-Morts still chasing by as we're back to single file racing here through the S's. But Nole kind of caught napping. He's still in 5th. He is not enjoying this too much as he's got to find a way to get ahead of D-Morts to keep up with Mark here in this battle if he wants to keep any chance of limiting the damage. I thought he was going to maybe try if he found the traction, but no, does not find it. That looked to be maybe Mleki, who went a little bit wide on the exit of this DRS straight, and that might open the door for Irish New Potato to make a move. He's going to be forced to the outside, though. No, he's going to try to go down the inside here, both on the medium tires. Who is going to take this position? Krishna gets ahead of Ephraim with a teammate switch. These two drivers are still side by side. Mleki gets the inside line here of this corner, but it's going to turn into the outside line. Oh no, and they both get involved in a big incident. That is Irish Nude Potato out of this race. Mleki takes some heavy wing damage, and that is bringing out a virtual safety car here on lap 7, going to neutralize the field, but that was a big accident there on your screen. You saw it happen in front of your eyes. You just felt like something was going to happen there with the way the corner handles itself. There goes Jordan taking a pit stop. He's going to get off the soft tires under the virtual safety car. Love that call here. Mark, though, Cohen still P2, P3 with Cruz now leading the way under the virtual safety car. When will we go back to green flag racing, as we've got a little bit of a gap here? Nole, he is going to have to time this perfectly through the S's. He is going to have to get past Nole, because if he allows the Alfa Romeos of Mark and Cohen to get too much of a lead ahead of him, that might be it for this race. That might be all she wrote for Nole in this in this battle, and that could allow Cohen to really close up. Now we're back to green flag racing. Let's see how he handles it here. He's very, very close behind D-Morts. Are we going to see DRS possibly activated? I think the Alfa Romeos might just switch positions. They know full well how this championship is going to play out. We're trying to break a toe, but we're essentially swinging around. Nole losing a little bit of time now to D-Morts, as D-Morts just has a bit more pace down this back straight. Here comes Krishna, though, right behind Lorenzo, practically pushing him around that corner here. But Cohen, he's still hanging on to that P2, trying to maybe toe Mark just a little bit before allowing him to overtake. But this dirty air might cause a little bit of issues for him as we're coming through Sector 3. But they are both very close behind Cruz. Everybody's sticking with one another here as the top 10 are still all essentially within 1 second of one another, but Lorenzo is falling back ever so slightly on those medium tires. These soft tire runners, now that we have DRS enabled, they might be going to lap 11, lap 12 if they can keep that wear under control, but that's when we're going to start seeing the medium tires really start to have a bit more pace here. Now Krishna, once again, so close behind, he's probably going to stick behind Lorenzo through the S section here on lap 9. Well, maybe with the help of DRS, he might be able to overtake Nole. Mivako, he's got the same strategy here. Crucially, though, Nole, he's got his teammate behind him of Lorenzo, so he can focus on the driver ahead and allow Lorenzo to keep an eye on Krishna as the driver behind. So the Ferrari team might be able to have a little bit of teamwork involved with this, and we'll see how this all plays out. But here we go, down the DRS straight, Cruz leading the way, Cohen in second, Mark in third. Now let's see how this overtake is going to happen. DRS is active here. Cohen, he's going to go for the lead of the race. Cruz is defending down the inside, and it looks like he is going to nail that defense. Ooh, Cohen and Mark got very close to one another there. That's I'm sure Mark might not be too happy about that, but they've been teammates all year. I'm sure they're all in good spirits with one another. I don't think there's any bad blood in that Alfa Romeo garage, as they're both competing for the win here. I think they have the green light to battle if they want to do it safely, especially seeing that Nole is behind both of them, so they can afford to do that, so as long as they don't take each other out. I'm sure if that was Nole in the lead, then it might be a different story. Then we might see some team orders there, because if Nole takes a victory, that might be it for the Drivers' Championship. But here we go. Cohen now, he's going to try around the outside. Cruz defending on the inside here. Once again, Cruz is still hanging on to the lead of the race here in this stage. Jordan sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And through the S's now, single file. That was Nole, maybe not taking the line he was hoping for here through that portion, losing a tiny little bit of time. The Alfa Romeos are practically attached to towing rod to one another, as they are following each other very closely. But D-Morts now, he's going to get involved. Is he going to try to launch one down the inside? No, but Cohen now, he gets ahead of Cruz, going around the outside of that corner we just saw. So Cohen now leading the race. Here comes Mark now with DRS. He's going to try to go down the inside. Cruz, he's forcing him around the outside there. That's not going to happen. A bit of a defense from Cruz, but you would think Mark would have been aware of that and switched over to the outside line. Mark, I think he thought he had that car's width, but wasn't going to happen. Nole got ahead of D-Mort, so that's a bit of a time loss for Mark. Now, you saw just very quickly that front wing of Krishna thought about getting an overtake done through Sector 3, but thought better of it, was not going to be able to make it stick. But we've got battles kicking, battles brewing here, and I'm sure Mark might not be too happy about that defense from Cruz, but they both made it through safely. They both got out of here. Cruz taking a pit stop after all of that. So this is going to promote Mark up into second, and everybody else up one position, as it's a bit of an early pit stop for Cruz. But we've got a big battle here brewing between essentially P2 all the way down to what is P5, and with the likes of Mark, Nole, D-Morts, and Krishna all involved with this. Dark now closing on Ephraim a little bit further behind, just to give some love to some other drivers here on the circuit for a tiny little bit. But Krishna, you can see, so close to D-Morts. Through the S's, not necessarily the easiest position to overtake, so they're probably focusing on their lines here to use the help of DRS to get some overtakes done. Very, very close now are these drivers. You can see, I think Nole trying to push now. Mark finding that traction he needs. Now, how is D-Mort's going to handle this? There's a little bit of separation. Is Krishna going to gain? They all have DRS on one another, so we're kind of stuck in a bit of a DRS train here. Dark, though, he got very close to Ephraim, but Ephraim on those mediums just has a bit more pace down the straight than the likes of Dark on those hard tires. But now Krishna, I think he's starting to find his stride here on those mediums. Those softs are starting to fall off a cliff just a tiny little bit. Look at how close he is to D-Morts. He really wants to get involved in this battle here on lap 11. This is right around where we're going to start seeing the soft tire runners pit, either this lap or next lap. But the top two, Cohen and Mark, they've taken time penalties. But here we go. Ooh, very close came Krishna. Cohen is staying out. Mark and Nole, excuse me, they're both taking a pit stop here. They're pitting one lap early. They're following each other. They're really going to be racing each other to the end of this race. Opting for the medium tires, I think, are the both of them. Yes, they are. And this is going to really make things good here between now and the end of the race between these two drivers. But Cohen leading. D-Morts now finds himself in second. They both have to take a pit stop. But Krishna, he is charging now. He wants to get involved with this on those fresher medium tires, as they now have a separation to Lorenzo. And between the two of them, now that D-Morts won't have any help with DRS for the driver ahead, this might be what Krishna needed to get this overtake on D-Morts. Let's see. We'll ride on board. Is he gonna close enough? He is closing. Here we go. Is it going to be close enough? He's going to try down the inside, I believe. D-Mort's defending towards the outside. They go side by side, and it looks like he is going to get that move. Is D-Mort's going to try to switch back? No, he is not, as D-Mort's down in third. I think he's struggling for grip here. Dark got ahead of Synchro as those hard tires are starting to roll a little bit for Dark. He's starting to feel them now as he's chasing down Ephraim. Synchro, though, he's down in 7th position, but to be fair, still battling with Dark. He's not just letting Dark run away here, but he's going to have to settle down just a tiny little bit now. Just to allow the Sector 3 to play his course. Now Cohen is taking a pit stop, so Krishna now finds himself leading the race. D-Morts, though, he's staying out for one extra lap on those soft tires. I'm not too sure how I feel about that decision, as they must really be falling off a cliff here now for him. As here we go, Dark, he gets a bit of a run here. Thought about making a move on Ephraim, but once again unable to get that done. Cohen falling down behind Mark. Is he going to slot himself between him and Nole? Let's take a look. Oh, they're close. They're side by side here as they're battling on the exit of the pits. Who is going to get this position at the end of the day? It looks like it is Nole, but Nole is 2 seconds now behind Mark and being pressured by Cohen. This has worked out an absolute treat for the Alfa Romeos. Synchro and Dark now going side by side as they're going through this corner here, heading down the DRS straight. Who is going to get DRS? It looks like they both have DRS, so they essentially cancel each other out here. But Dark still in 6th. Synchro hanging on to that P5 for dear life as Ephraim now, a little bit of contact with Lorenzo there as we've got a bit of a bus stop here. 4 cars. Dark is caught right back up to Synchro with that bus stop. All brought to you by Ephraim. And now Synchro, look at that, lunging it. They touch wheels as they go side by side now through that section. What a move by Synchro. He saw the opportunity and got it done. Synchro up into P4. Ephraim now down in P5. And he is going to have to defend the charging Red Bull of Dark on those hard tires, as he is probably going to try to go to the end of the race as mentioned. But still, the eyes are now on what is for P11, P10, and P9. Mark, Nole, Cohen, as they are battling it out. Cruz now, he's ahead of all of them now as he's on those 2-lap hold. He is being chased down by Mark. Is Mark going to get an overtake done down the inside here? We've got a view of the front wing. No, he's not going to get the move. Oh, but he rides the curve though, does Cruz, and that might allow Mark to get an opportunity. Ooh, it came close. Is he going to try it through the S's here? No, I think he's going to hang on. He's going to play it safe. He's going to play it cool. He's got 14 more laps to try to get this overtake done. He can allow himself to play it a little bit cool here on those mediums, but that's not going to help Cruz as he goes very hard. He's feeling the pressure of Mark, I think, behind him, as that might be a time penalty there for Cruz, or at the very least a warning from the stewards of this video game. But we'll see how this is all playing out. Nole, he is closing up now as he's made a tiny little bit of separation. Lorenzo and Synchro now going side by side, though. Just caught this battle. There's still Synchro launching himself back through. Ephraim now. He's going to try to go around Lorenzo. That came very close. Lorenzo up into 4th. Ephraim now down in 5th as he is going to defend around Dark. Ooh, Lorenzo, but having a big moment nearly there on the exit of that corner. He hangs on, but Synchro gets some much-needed separation as Ephraim. Is he going to try to launch it down the inside of this corner? No, he came close, but it's hard to get the overtake unless of a mistake from a driver. And Ephraim, he's going to have to watch out. There goes D-Morts now pitting after 14 laps. He's going to fall down a few positions here. Might be down in P11. He might find himself behind the likes of Cohen as everybody is so close here through into the section. Cruz and Mark now going side by side here as they're having a battle for essentially the net lead of the race here. Mark gets ahead of Cruz, and now Jordan, whether he wants to or not, he's going to get involved in this two-car battle. But Cruz and Mark, they're still battling. They're so close to one another. They're not giving each other any room. No love lost here on the circuit for these two drivers. They're keeping it clean. They're keeping it respectful, and this is what you love to see, hard racing from these two drivers. But now Nole, he is going to have to get a move on, but to be fair, he's closed up that 1.8 second gap to catch right back up. They're trying to break the tow here as we've got a DRS train. Jordan now, I think he's just a sitting duck here as Mark, he gets the overtake done. They're going to go 2x2 now, and Cruz is going to try to launch it down the inside of Jordan, and that's Nole who's going to try to go down the inside of Jordan. Jordan is trying to figure out what the heck is going on here as he nearly loses 3 positions. He might be able to damage control it down to 2. Down the inside, though, goes Nole, and is he going to get the overtake done? Oh, a big tank slapper there for him. Nearly causes a little bit of damage with Jordan, but no, he does get ahead. Now Jordan, he is just trying to damage control as much as he can with these drivers as he's going to hang on to 9th. He's got Cohen right behind. Cohen flashes himself in those mirrors, but maybe with the help of DRS, he might get the overtake done. Ephraim now gets ahead of Lorenzo, but he goes deep. Ephraim goes deep, and now Dark gets ahead of Ephraim as Ephraim made a costly mistake, a miscalculation going into turn 1, and now Dark finds himself in P4. Dark's in a great position here, trying to chase down Lorenzo as those medium tires are going to start to fall off just a tiny little bit here, I think. But it's still Krishna leading the way. He's got a 6-second gap to Synchro, who's got a nearly 3-second gap to Lorenzo, and this is where the magic is happening. This is where the battling is happening here between Lorenzo and Dark and Ephraim, and a little bit further behind the championship battle with Mark, Nole, and Cruz is getting involved. But here comes now Dark. He is going to go around the outside now with this help of DRS. He's got the overtake done, and Dark finds himself in a podium position in that Red Bull car, and Dark's in a great position to possibly go to the end of this race. Cohen and Jordan now are battling. They're going side by side through this right-handed corner here. And what happened? There's Jordan. He was hidden by my timing tables. I nearly lost him on track. I was scared he had a big moment there, but no, Jordan is still hanging on to this position for dear life. He is defending Cohen as best as he possibly can. What a sight to see here. What a drive this is for everybody here. With only 12 drivers on the field remaining, 12 drivers on the grid, everybody is just battling with everybody. This is what you love to see here. And very quickly, 17 out of 28 laps here, as we've got 11 laps remaining. And honestly, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like we just started the race about 10 minutes ago. But this just goes to show how great the action is. And look at this, we've got even more action. Cohen's still trying to get past Jordan. He just can't seem to get past that AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri doing everything he can, putting that car exactly where it needs to be, defending where he has to keep Cohen behind him. and we might see a little bit more shakeup now, as some of these medium tire runners might just be taking a pit stop here within the next few laps to put on a set of soft tires. They're going to have to, as essentially Lorenzo and Ephraim, they still need to pit. But here we go, Cohen now, he's going to go to the right hand side. It's going to be the outside, very quickly gets past Jordan, as now he is going to chase down Nole. Still close. Ephraim and Lorenzo, they switch positions now as Ephraim caught back up to the Ferrari. But Ephraim, he is going to try to chase back down Dark. But Dark now, he's got a little bit of separation now, a 2.6 second gap to Synchro. And it's all Krishna, who is about to start lap 18. He is crossing the line for the 18th time, I would say. He's got 10 laps to go, as everybody else is following suit. As Lorenzo taking a pit stop. And is that going to be Ephraim staying out? Yes, Ephraim is staying out. Mark back up into P5 now, as he is starting to run away just a tiny little bit. Cruz and Nole, they're still they're hanging on with one another, but I think they've taken a little bit of a breather, allowing themselves to conserve those tires. But Nole might want to get a bit of a move on here, given that now he's got a car separating he and Mark, and they're all on that same strategy. But if I look at the penalties, Mark has 9 seconds of penalties here. Cruz has 6. Nole has none. So I think Nole is actually well aware of that. What happened here? What's going on to Cruz? Cruz, he's spinning around. He's doing donuts. He's falling down the order as he had a big moment. He's now behind Demorts down in P10. Nole was given an absolute gift here, and Nole's in a great position here as he knows Mark has 9 seconds of penalties. So Mark, he's got to build a 9-second gap here. He's going to try to get past Ephraim now. He comes close, but not close enough to overtake with DRS. But just like that, we've got more battles on our hands here. But Ephraim, he might take a pit stop here at the end of this lap, put on a set of soft tires. I think he's going to have to. Let's switch over to these stops. Yeah, Ephraim, the only driver who has yet to take a pit stop here. So he's going to have to pit between the next few laps, and you can see kind of struggling here quickly through into the penultimate corner. And is this going to be the lap we see Ephraim? Yes, it is. He is going to take his pit stop. Might end up coming down closer to Lorenzo down in P11, maybe P10. Mark now up into third. Oh, but Mlecki, he had a big moment now, as you can see that Williams bringing out a yellow flag. Is that going to bring out anything more? We've got yellow flag still. I don't think it's going to bring out anything more than that. And no, we are just going to continue racing to the joy of Krishna, but to the dismay possibly of some of these other drivers who are hoping to get back involved in this battle. In these battling here, we're hoping for a safety car to punch up the field. But here we go, Demorts chasing down Jordan as they're coming through the S section, staying close, battling for P7. Demorts on those much fresher medium tires, as he can definitely go to the end if he can keep it clean. We'll see how this is all going to play out. But now Nole, he's got to close up 2.3 seconds to Mark. But he knows he's got the advantage on penalties. Mlecki, he is out of this race. He said enough is enough. He is he is retiring, not the debut to ISRL that he was hoping for here in Division 2. But put up a very strong effort. But USA, very difficult track by all means. So you can't get too mad. Ephraim and Lorenzo, they're going side by side. They're having a little bit of a battle here for the wooden spoon for P10 and P11. They're battling for this top 10 finish here. Lorenzo, he's still got the advantage for the time being, but Ephraim is on slightly fresher tires, I believe. Excuse me, as he pit one lap later. Krishna, though, he's pitting from the lead. He's putting on a set of soft tires. He's going to try to push Mark now. He's caught up to Dark. Darkus finds himself in P2 right now, chasing down Synchro, who may or may not need to take a pit stop himself. Excuse me. So Dark is essentially possibly in a net lead of the race, but look at how close Mark is. Look at the pace difference between those mediums and those hard tires. But Mark, he's going to have to watch out. You don't want to get caught up in an incident. Ooh, a big moment. Big tank slapper for Dark, and he nearly runs into Mark there. The both ARC drivers, the M gets past the D here as Mark is now in P2, Dark in third after that big tank slapper for the Red Bull on those hard tires. but could have ended up much worse if Dark was not aware of that and caught that car. But still a solid drive from Dark now. But this is going to allow Nole to close up on the Red Bull driver. You can see very close in that braking zone as he can brake just a tiny little bit later here. But it's still a very solid drive. But I think Nole, looking at these penalties here, he's in the best position out of all of them here. The Ferrari, he's managed to keep his nose clean here, but there's still 8 laps to go. Ephraim and Lorenzo now, they're still having a bit of a battle here. Look at that. Lorenzo gets back ahead of Ephraim as they're still battling it out for the wooden spoon here, as they're essentially having their own race for P10, P11, but it's still very exciting. Synchro's taking his pit stop. He is getting off of those tires, so now Mark is ahead. Now Mark is in the lead. Nole gets past Dark now as he finds himself in P2. Mark, he's got to get a big move on, or hope and a prayer here, I think, because Nole with no penalties. I keep saying that, but it's just a fact. Mark has 9 seconds of penalties, and if Nole can find himself in the taking the victory here, that might be it. With 1 race to go, that might be the Drivers' Championship all but sorted here for Division 2, but we still have 7 laps to go before we can officially say that, and anything can happen. If you watch the Division 3 stream, you know I can speak out of experience. Anything can happen between now and the end of the race, but it is going to be good. You're going to want to stay tuned here. Krishna, though, on those soft tires, he's going to go around the outside of Demorts, or at least give it a shot. He does get ahead with the help of DRS, as Demorts going to charge back. He's going to think about it, but he's not going to gain enough to allow himself to get that done. But here we go. This is going to be a great finish here. As I said, Mark leading the way, Nole in second. It's a 1.3 second gap on track, but if you look at the penalties here, Nole, Demorts, and Jordan, the only 3 drivers who have managed to keep their nose clean through the entirety of the race up until now. Krishna, he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on those soft tires after that pit stop, so he is flying. He wants to get back up the order. Here comes Cohen now chasing down Dark. Let's see how this is going to play out between these 2 drivers. Riding on board with Cohen as they're coming through the S's on those mediums. Dark takes another 3-second time penalty, so he is struggling just a tiny little bit, I think, on those hard tires. As you can see, he's taking some penalties. And if I look at the tire, he's on 16 lap old hard tires is Dark, so he is going to definitely start struggling. Krishna, though, he's got right behind Cohen as he's practically pushing him through that corner now. And let's see, with the help of DRS, is he going to get ahead? Let's ride on board. Cohen has DRS, but Krishna has the tire advantage here. Let's see, Cohen making a look down the inside of Dark, but he's not going to get the overtake done. Here comes Krishna now. Is he going to try to find the traction? Yes, he is, but it's not going to work out. Synchro and Cruz exchange positions. Ephraim and Lorenzo once again exchange positions through these 2 battles. Krishna now, he gets ahead of Cohen. He's up into P4 is Krishna as he's chasing down Dark. He might want to try to snag a podium position for his own, for himself here, for his troubles on those soft tires. Krishna's driven such a good race, and it would be so fitting to see that for him here in the Renault. But let's see how it'll all play out. We're starting lap 23 out of 28 here. We're approaching the nitty-gritty near the end of the race. Dark defending down the inside, but it's all for naught as Krishna uses DRS to his advantage. He uses his tire advantage with that pace. He is up into P3 now. Synchro and Cruz getting past Jordan. Jordan, he's pinning for a set of soft tires, so he's probably going to try to go for the fastest lap here as he finds himself down in P11. As Lorenzo, Ephraim, Cruz, they all get promoted a position. Look at how close Ephraim is to Cruz now. Cruz is going to get involved in this battle here between Cruz, Ephraim, and Lorenzo. But Lorenzo's taking a tiny little bit of difference here. Cohen still chasing down Dark as he's trying to get past him on those mediums. Is he going to get the look he needs? Let's take a look. Here we go. With the help of DRS, it's so strong here. Cohen gets ahead. Ephraim gets ahead of Cruz before the DRS straight even happens. And is he going to get DRS for good measure? Yes, he is. Cruz is going to be a tiny little bit of a sitting duck as Lorenzo now. He's going to close up that gap just a tiny little bit. Here comes Demorts now as Demorts gets ahead of Dark. Dark, it was a solid strategy for him, but I think those hard tires are just struggling for pace here, where in the worst possible moment near the end of the race, lap 23 out of 28, as he is starting to fall down the order. But here comes Krishna now trying to chase down Nole, and we'll see how this is all playing out. Krishna still has 3 seconds of time penalties, but he's on the quicker tires, so it's not crazy to think he's going to be able to close this gap. But here we go. Launches one down the outside. Nole gets the better traction here. This is what Mark wants to have happen. The two drivers, they're going side by side through the S's. Oh my, look at this. Nole, he's going to play it safe. He's going to give that position to Krishna. Krishna up into P2 now as he's going to chase down Mark. And Nole, he is down in P3 now on track with 4 laps to go. Here, lap 24 out of 28. What a race this has been here in the United States Grand Prix. And it is going to set up for a fantastic finish here. Mark, he is down this back straight now here too. But he is not able to create that gap he is hoping for here between himself and Nole. So those penalties might be able to bite him in the butt if he's not careful. Looks like 3-second penalties for Mark that he took early on, but he's managed to keep it clean ever since then. But Nole, he's kept it clean for the entirety of the race, and he's probably well aware of that from what he can see on those timing tables. Lorenzo and Cruz now, they're gonna go side by side here. Lorenzo, he's gonna stick it around the outside, find that traction on those soft tires, and he's gonna get ahead of Cruz now, who was fighting for the lead here, now battling for P9 as he's still battling these two drivers. They touch wheels a tiny little bit, but looks like Lorenzo, he's going to get the inside line through the sweeping right-hander. But Cruz, he's still sticking it in there. They're still side by side here, these two drivers are. Oh no, they both get caught up into an incident. That's Lorenzo out of the race. Cruz, he's still in, but he took heavy wing damage. That's going to give Jordan a position as Cruz is going to have to take a pit stop. And is that going to be the end of the race for Cruz? But you can see that Ferrari, after a valiant battle, that is it. Cruz takes a corner-cutting penalty there. That, I don't like that penalty whatsoever, as he's just trying to get into the pits there. But we'll have to see how that plays out. Is this going to bring out a safety car? No, it's not, because we're so close to the end of the race. So we're just going to go back to green flag, down to 9 runners here. But a big, costly accident, as that is Cruz out of this race now. Lorenzo out of this race. And here we go, down to 9 runners. Lap 25 out of 28. Here comes Krishna. He is putting pressure on Mark. He wants to try to go for the victory here for this Grand Prix. And let's take a look and see how this is playing out. Ooh, that was nearly another time penalty for Mark there, but Krishna does get ahead. He is leading this Grand Prix. Step 1 done. Step 2 is create a 3-second gap. Cruz has, well, that's nothing to worry too much there. Demorts in 4th as Cohen now in 5th position. But Demorts in a solid position to maybe snag a podium out of this if he can just keep this gap close enough. He and Nole are the only 2 drivers who have yet to take penalties thus far in this Grand Prix with the 9 runners remaining. But here we go. Krishna, the gap is now 1.1 second. Mark in 2nd. Nole is in 3rd. He's kept that gap to around 2 seconds between he and Mark. And this is exactly what Nole has wanted here. Given the implications with the drivers championships, I believe. Now, I'm going to take a look here as we're riding with them, as we've got a little bit of gaps here for the final few laps. Unless something major happens, some gaps start to close up. I'm going to take a look here at the, I don't quite remember off the top of my head how the exact implications of the points. So let me go take a quick look at that here. And so first position gets 40, second gets 33, third gets 28. So as long as Nole is able to create more than a 40-point gap to Mark in these drivers' championship, that might be it. That might be all for Division 2. But here we go. We'll have to see as it stands right now. Krishna has built that 3-second gap. Now look at this, Nole. He's caught right up to Mark anyways. So this is gonna be absolutely crucial here for him. Now Mark, I think he's starting to bite. He's starting to kick himself just a tiny little bit in that Alfa Romeo for taking these penalties. But now he's under pressure by Nole, who is really closing up a treat here on the penultimate lap. Will we see possibly a battle between these two drivers here on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix? Let's take a look at this. We'll stick with this battle here as Demorts now. Crucially, Demorts is taking a 3-second time penalty through on the penultimate lap through the S's. That is not going to help him all that much, but it's still going to allow him to maybe catapult a position here, but we'll see how this all plays out. Behind him, everybody's taking a bunch of penalties, so that's not too much of a worry. With DRS, though, here comes Nole being forced to the outside. They nearly touch wheels. Oh, that came very, very close to contact between these two drivers. Keeping it respectful, Mark trying all he can to keep Nole behind him as much as he can. Maybe he wants to get Demorts involved in this battle on the final lap. But no, Nole takes a 3-second time penalty, cutting that corner there, and he's still got 6 seconds of an advantage here, but that advantage has closed up a tiny little bit. So right as I was saying that there, Mark may be seeing a little glimpse of hope here, but he's going to have to hope for a lot more than just a 3-second time penalty for Nole, but still closing up. I think Nole sees the implications now. He's backed it up just a tiny little bit. His goal now, make it through the S's on the final chicane, but that could also mean that Krishna, if he can keep it clean, he might be able to just taste that champagne. We'll see how it's all playing out. He's on those soft tires. He's made that 2-stop work wonders for him here. But all eyes are on this battle here for P2 and P3 between these two drivers, and Demorts now closing up. He might want to get slightly involved with these 3 seconds here. But Mark, he's in possibly the worst position he could be in here, with Nole and Demorts all closing up with only 3 seconds of penalties. But here we go down this back straight. Take 2. Is this going to be enough? He's going to go down the inside. Is Nole. Here we go. They're going to go side by side here. Is the move going to happen? Yes, it is. Nole. He takes P2 on track. Is Mark going to attack? Yes, he is. He's going to try to go down the outside of this corner here. They're going to have to keep it respectful. We've seen what happens through this corner. They're still going side by side here, trying to battle as much as they can. Here we go. It's all going to come down to the line here for that position on track. Mark takes that P2 now. Nole is going to slot behind. Krishna takes the victory here at the United States Grand Prix. Mark in second on track, but it's Nole in second. And Demorts, he finds himself on the podium. So Nole in P2, Synchro up into fourth. Mark down in P5 now. My goodness, what a race this was. P5, that only gives him 22 points. Nole gets 33, so essentially it's a net 11 point spread as of right now between Mark and Nole. And if I look at this, if I add, let's say, 11 points, it's going to be 29, 28, 89, 99, 09, 19. Oh my goodness, I don't think he has it just yet. But Mark is going to need a hope and a prayer here, as Nole is going to be leading by 39 points in the Drivers' Championship as of right now on track. So this is going to go down to the final race of the season in Brazil for the Drivers' Championship. You'll love to see that. It's going to involve a hope and a prayer, but as we say time and time again in motorsports, or as I say time and time again here in Formula One, anything can happen. We will have to see how this plays out next week. But there you have it. I mean, I've also got to talk about Krishna. Solid drive, 6th on the grid, a 2-stop, and he takes the victory. Solid drive from Krishna. I'm too busy looking at this Drivers' Championship. I'm not giving Krishna the love he needs, but there you have it. Krishna takes the victory. Nole down in 2nd. Demorts rounding out the podium here with a solid drive, and Synchro in P4. That's what those racing points needed. The Alfa Romeos P4, P5. It's Mark and Cohen with Dark falling down in 6th. Ephraim in 7th. And you saw the rest of the order there, and we already have the victor here on track. It's Krishna in the post-race lobby, ready for the interview. Krishna, can you hear us at all?
Yeah, hello. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing fantastic. Losing my breath a little bit, losing my voice after that very exciting race, but I'm gonna start off just. Congratulations, you take the victory here on track with a solid drive, pulling off the 2-stop. Talk us through it. What are your thoughts here after that United States Grand Prix?
I'm just absolutely happy that it worked. But after I saw how much time I gained after my 2nd pit stop on the fresh softs in comparison to the old mediums, I had a feeling that it could work out. 2 times in the last 3 laps I nearly lost it. But thankfully I didn't and took it. I'm more than happy. At this time, no penalty removal can take it away from me, so
Yep, so that's the win. Nobody's going to be able to take that one away from me, I don't think. Now, I do want to ask, because you're one of 2 or 3 drivers that actually did the 2-stop. Was that your strategy going into the race, or was this just a call on the fly for you?
I wanted to have both things open, like the early safety car, lap 5 and stuff, always gives you the opportunity to pit because all the other people on softs need to pit as well in a short time, and they can't gain any advantage anymore on this used softs, and with the safety car everything bunched up. So I'm just happy that there were nobody like holding me off, and when they saw that I'm massively faster, that they conceded the position and just were fair and nobody just doing shit. It was a great one, really funny.
Yeah, it was a great race for sure. Congratulations. And can we expect to see more of a fantastic showing from you next week in the finale in Brazil?
I hope so.
You hope so.
I don't promise anything, but
there we go. But I'm sure there's going to be somebody here actually in this post-race interview lobby that might have something to say about that. Nole, and I'm going to move on. Nole, can you hear us at all?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
So, solid drive from you. Not the victory there, but it was a solid P2 for you. So take us through it. What are your thoughts here after that, after your race?
Yeah, first of all, congrats to Krishna. He drove a really good race. To do the 2-stop in USA, it's like quite a hard bit to do. So good job to Krishna. My race, I started in P5, had a really not optimal start, but not a bad start. There was a lot of chaos around me. I saw New Potato spin in front of me. I think we were like 4 right in the 2nd turn, so that's why it's a little bit hectic. But then I just keep spare my tires, the lives. So to make my first pit stop, I think I followed Mark, so that was like my original plan. And I stay behind Mark, just keeping the cars behind me. I was lucky to be in front of Koen when he did his pit stop, so he could help his teammate Mark. So I'm quite happy with that. And on the last couple of corners, I was driving P2. I'd say, okay, this is my win. It's not much wins that I have, so another win is always good. And suddenly I saw Krishna coming closer and closer, and I said, huh? How do he do this? And then I saw he was on soft, so it's like, okay, here you go. We were like, think side by side in the S's in the USA. I was like, okay, I'm not going to fight you here. Go ahead. I don't want to crash. I have a championship to win. So quite a good race for me, for my side. And also with Mark, the last couple of corners, I think he wants to show a little bit from, I am still here for taking your championship, but I think with one track to go, it's like almost in my hands, the trophy. So
and that's it's gonna bring me to my my second question here, because I did a little bit of quick math for the championship after that race with essentially the net points. You are now 39 points ahead of Mark in the drivers championship. So it will be going down to the final race here. So don't mean to put any pressure on you going into the final race, but how confident are you feeling going into this final race to try to lock this one up?
I'm quite confident. I'm not too confident. Everything can happen. There's always multisport, but I'm like, it's a little bit of a pressure also along the other side. It's 39 points. Are you sure you didn't miscalculate that it's 40 points?
I did my quick maths. It was came down to 39 as my math made. I think put you up to. I mean, the net points gave you. I think I did a quick net point calculation there based on the differential. So I added 11 to your points now, and then calculated Mark's. Because it was an 11-point differential, then I did the quick calculation from there, because you got 11 points more, and that's where I got to my 39. So maybe my math is wrong, but for the sake of the stream, for the sake of our fans, let's just say it's going to go down to the final race, because I love those final race finales. But still, congratulations on that P2, and I'll be honest, y'all joined so quickly, I haven't even been able to send D-Morts an invite over to the party. So I'm going to quickly try to do that and see if he's going to jump in to get his reaction on the after that race. But as I'm doing that, do you guys have any final comments after regarding this race, or regarding the I guess regarding the race? I guess not. We've covered it all, and there we go. D-Morts, can you hear us at all?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. So apologies for the delay on the invite into the post race interview there. Everybody else seemed to jump in so quickly, but it was a solid drive from you here. Maybe I don't think it was the podium on track, but podium after penalties. But take us through it here. What are your thoughts here after that fantastic drive with the U.S. Grand Prix there?
Yeah, it started off with qualifying, and I was really impressed with my pace there. And then at the start of the race, I got clipped on the first corner, which pushed me wide, and then that dropped me back a position. And then when we got up to the first pit stops, everyone dived in, and I was just hoping and praying for a VSC or a safety car. So I stayed out a couple of laps, but it didn't come. And then obviously my tyres were fresher at the end there, and I was catching. But I had a wheel error on the last half a lap, so it just went to its default settings. So I lost a chunk of time at the end there, but luckily just managed to hang on to P4, P3 across the line. So very happy.
Yeah, and that's something that from the start of the race, I think you qualified in P6, was it, right?
P4 is a guess.
P4 possibly. I'm trying to pull it up now. Let's take a look. Looks like it was P5. Now, did you think going into this? I guess more to where I'm getting to is, did you think going into this race that you're going to find yourself on the podium?
I was hoping everyone was going to be two stopping, and I knew I was one stopping. But obviously, with those extra safety cars, the one stop, was the way forward. I've done a two stop before, but and the time is quite even, so it was a bit of a toss up. But yeah, I knew my pace was good round here, so I was hoping for a podium. I missed out last week by 0.9 of a second, so on the podium, so I think I deserved that one.
Yeah, definitely made it up for it here. Now, how confident are you feeling after this podium that you'll be able to take this drive into the finale in Brazil and get another solid result?
To be honest, Brazil's not a strong track for me, but I'll give it my all. And yeah, let's see if I can. I'd be happy with top 6. I think at the moment. We'll see how my pace is in the week.
All right, well, we'll see. I'm going to wish you luck there. And, I mean, congratulations to you and congratulations to all 3 of you on the podium. But I think that's just about going to do it here for the stream here today. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as I did here in the commentators booth. And of course, if you enjoyed it, make sure to tune in same time, same place next week as we have the finale. It is going to be the Brazilian Grand Prix. And that's always a fantastic race, so you're not going to want to miss that one. And, of course, tune in about 35 minutes' time, where we'll have Division 1's turn as they take to the track here around COTA for their US Grand Prix. It's going to be a good one, so you won't want to miss that one. But until then, I've been Fallen Monkeys saying thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a fantastic evening.